Hey, we're here with Mayer Hawthorne. Thanks so much for taking the time, man. Really appreciate it.
How do you do?
How Do You Do Now is the name of the first record on a major label.
That's right.
You've made the jump, the leap from Stone's Throw.
I made the Stones throw over to the majors, yeah, the big boys.
What was that like? I mean, you were with Stone's Throw. They found you, right? Peanut Butter Wolf found you, and
Peanut
you.
Butter Wolf, yeah, he gave me my shot. Yeah, definitely. He asked me if I would record an album of soul music, but at the time I was trying to make rap music, so it wasn't really what I wanted to do. But it was a shot at working with a label that I really liked. So
Dilla was on that label,
Sure,
right?
Dilla.
Mad Lib.
Yep.
Aloe Black's on that label.
That's right.
Those are all your brothers, I guess.
They're all my homies. Dane
And-
Funk, James Pants.
What made you decide
J-Rock.
to make the leap?
You know, I was seeing the reaction to the music, and it seemed like the music was just broader than the independent fan base that Stone's Throw had kind of built in. And I didn't want to look back. I had, when we put the album out, I had pretty much every major label was trying to sign me. So.
Right.
And I turned almost everybody down, and I was scared of going to a major label and, losing all of my creativity, creative control, and my, my coolness. And it wasn't until Universal Republic came along that I really felt comfortable.
You had recorded a strange arrangement on your own, played almost all the instruments on your own, wrote all the music on your own. Was it different writing this record, or were you?
Well, I wrote and recorded a lot of this album before I even signed. So I was worried that the new label was going to come in and be like, no, you have to do it all this way, But they've been surprisingly supportive of my vision and sound, and I think every little thing that we do that is successful, it gets them a little more in my corner.
Right.
It's been going really well, and I recorded the new record in a very similar fashion. It's just a little better. Everything's just a little better.
You recorded at home in Detroit, right?
I went back to Detroit to record the majority of it. Yeah, that's where I felt comfortable. That's where the juices were flowing, and I didn't want to lose that grit and that edge, that Detroit will give to you, and that work ethic. I think I recorded a lot of this album in a short amount of time.
You rep Detroit not only on the record, but in general.
Absolutely, 100%.
Do you think that all the economic woes of the town and the auto industry downturn and all that, you think Detroit's going to come out of that on top?
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of the songs on the record is all about that. It's about the rise and fall of Motown and the auto industry, and how, we're the most resilient people in the world, though, and people from Detroit are some of the proudest. We're the first people to tell you where we're from.
Right.
We'll always tell you we're from Detroit. So, we're gonna get there. We just gotta find some new things to do.
How about Matt Stafford in the season the Detroit Lions
Come
are
on,
having?
man. We couldn't ask for a better time for this. Nobody needs it more than Detroit.
Absolutely. And the
Go
Tigers,
Wolverines, go Lions, go Tigers.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
The other thing that's kind of cool on the record is you got Snoop Dogg to sing. I mean, he's not dropping rhymes. He's actually singing on the record. How did you get Snoop to do that?
Well, he asked me what he had to do to get on my record, and I said, well, I don't think there's going to be any rapping on there, so you have to sing. But, that was kind of a loaded...
Yeah.
It was a loaded suggestion, because anytime I've ever hung out with him, all he does is sing soul ballads.
Really?
So, yeah, he loves the dramatics and the delphonics and the stylistics and all that classic soul music. So, and he's always singing. So... I knew that he would be able to do it. I knew he'd be excited about it. So I kind of lobbed that one up, and he knocked it out of the park.
There's other people on the record that Noel Skaggs from
she did some backups for me. Yeah.
And Jimmy James. Is that the Jimmy James?
Jimmy James is I don't know.
From My Morning Jacket, same guy?
No,
or is
no,
it
no,
different
no,
Jim
no,
James?
different Jimmy James.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's an extremely talented singer out of LA. She just nailed it so perfectly.
Yeah. So it's a great record. I guess the question is, you know, there's a lot of neo soul going on, whether it's your record fits in the Tantrums record, Eli Paperboy Reed. There's lots of stuff going on. But I think what's interesting about your record is it has that bravado, that hip hop thing going on. Even though it's probably unintentional, but it's not as classically neo soul as some of these other artists are.
Well, it is intentional. I mean, I come from a hip hop DJ and producer background, and
Right.
and I'm all about moving the music forward and not taking it back. You know, I hate it when people say, "Let's take it back to the good old days," you know, when music was good. And I'm like, yeah, why do you want to do that? You know,
Yeah.
Run DMC wasn't trying to take it back to the good old days, and neither was Tom Bell and the Delphonics. You know, they were trying to do something new and exciting and different, and move the music forward and create something new, and that's what I'm trying to do. So
You've been on the road with Bruno Mars,
Mm-hmm.
Erykah Badu, Amy Winehouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did they teach you about singing in front of large crowds and getting after what's yours?
I'm definitely a student. You know, I'm very much still learning how to sing. You know, it's something that is very new to me. I've only been singing for a couple of years now,
Right.
so you know, I'm very observant, and I try to watch and learn as much as I can about singing and how to really, you know, use my voice as an instrument, just like a guitar or a saxophone. You know, it's definitely it hasn't been an easy thing to pick up. It's not easy, but I'm getting there. You know, every time I step on the stage, you know, I just try to make sure that it's a little better than the night before, and
Right.
you know, we'll get there.
I guess it comes across to the audience, though, and for the people that are listening to your music, as authentic. It's not something that, you know, you're not being real about. People know that you just started singing, and they get that, right?
Yeah, you know, I try to keep it honest and genuine always. I mean, you know, people can see right through the fake shit. They know when something is not real. So,
Right.
you know, I don't try to be anything that I'm not. You know, I admit, you know, that I'm very much still learning how to sing, and but you know, I think one of the biggest things that I've learned through this whole process is, you know, as long as you're out there having fun and engaging, you know, the crowd, that they give you a little break.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's more important than necessarily hitting all the notes or being, you know, and listening to people sing through auto-tune and you know, nailing every note perfectly. It's not exciting to me
Right.
anyway. I wouldn't, you know,
Agreed.
life isn't perfect, so why would you want to listen to something that is?
I heard a rumor that you keep a picture of your wax on your iPhone. 'Cause,
I do. I
how-
carry photos of my records around. They're my children. They're my babies.
How much wax? How much records? How big is the collection?
Too big. I'm
Yeah.
running out of space. They're all over the floor of my apartment in LA. I need to
When-
get a bigger place or something.
When you recorded the record, did you have the idea that somebody was going to play this on vinyl? I mean, is that something that you're cognizant of?
Of course, yeah. And it was something where it was even more important for me on this record. I linked up with this cat named Jason Schweitzer in LA, and we mixed the record together, and he's like a real mixing pro. And I mixed the first album myself, and then I heard it on the vinyl, and I was like, this is cool, but it could be better.
Right.
So that was one of the things that I really focused on for the new record, was making sure that it really sounded, you know, as good as it could.
What are you listening to on the road when you have some downtime and you're not, you know, listening to your own stuff? Or
I dig for records on the road all the
Yeah.
time, so I'm always picking up new 45s and things. I've been really bugging on Barbara Mason on Arctic, all of her like early 45s on Arctic from the
She's
late
from Philly,
60s.
right?
She's from Philly, yeah, incredible stuff. New stuff, the Twin Shadow. I love the Twin Shadow record. Metronomy, the new Metronomy record is great. I've been bumping the shit out of that.
what about the
Danny
Chromeo
Brown.
record?
Chromeo's great,
Yeah.
yeah. I covered a couple of their songs on the new record, you know, because before I even linked up with them,
Yeah.
I just thought it was great.
Cool. Thanks so much for taking the time, man.
My pleasure.
Welcome back to Toronto, and we'll
Absolutely.
see you tonight.
Thanks.
Cheers.